Continue with our video in modeling with elements. Okay, yeah, as you can see, this how the paneling goes. I mean, it's quite very similar to QS9. So you basically do your paneling. You can select any of the panel, and then you can, you know, copy panel by reference, and then to the bottom in this case. And of course, you can always, reset the grid. For instance, I can click and reset the grid, and then and I can also create the floor. I'll just cancel this. I can also recreate the floor beams. Just click on Edit Modeling and then recreate selected floor beam / column. And software does that. So you can see this is the ground floor, and the beams are created. The same with this one. I can also copy this to the bottom, and I can create new beams /span. And then so what in this case, we are creating both the beams and the column all at the same time. Anyway, no need to waste time doing them one after the other. If there's a column to be created, like in this case in the ground floor, definitely there's no column in the ground floor. Okay, so the next thing, of course, you copy this floor. So go back to modeling with elements. I can either add a new floor, or I can copy the floor. In this case, I think I can add a new floor. Just add a new floor. So now this is our first floor. So you can again add your panels. In fact, I can actually follow the grid and recreate the panels. Right? So you can see this is the panels are added. So you can see this panel tray. And then I can mirror, I can do anything I want. So in this case, I can just go back, select and reference to the bottom again. So we have the floor. Can come back to this, edit, and I can create so you can see, create the selected floor beams and columns. So you can see the columns and the beams are created. And of course, you can again switch to and the reason why we have to add the switch to single floor view, although in the previous update in version 10, single floor view is there, but in this case, we just have to bring it to the front so that the button is not being looked for. Of course, this enables you to switch the floor to a single floor view, more or less trying to give you the same feel like in version 9. Because basically in version 9, actually, what we do in version 9 is single floor view. As you can see, the floors are just in one view. We don't have multiple views in version 9. But in version 10, definitely we have multiple views. So if I click on this button again, it will switch back to a multiple view, where I have, or multiple floors view, where I have all the floors in the same page, so again, they all have the advantages, to be honest. So what we have done is to just open it up, add more variety, so that you have both. You can start with any method and switch to another method. They're all the same. It works seamlessly and it works together. So you don't really need to be bothered. The entire thing is still the same version 10, but working in two different ways. But they have the same core objective, because the aim of version 10 is to make the modeling faster, to make the drawing, the design much more faster. And that's why we have to go through the length we went to in version 10. Sometimes some people have asked, could be we should have extended version 9 a little bit more, could be call it version 10, but we said no, because in version 9 has actually been there for the past, probably getting to 14 years. But the thing is, in version 10, we decided to do something totally different, create a new environment, which, to be honest, it looks nice. Make the software faster. That was the aim. Make the drawing environment more responsive. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. And again, another thing again that that we also consigned in version 10, we wanted to be able to the software to be able to contain as many elements or as many objects within the screen as possible and still be responsive. You can throw in 2,000 panels and the software can still respond. That's one of the things that we have to do. Trying to continue to do that in version 9, that wasn't kind of a good idea. And we just wanted, to create something totally different, something new. But at the same time, the same result, the same detailing, the same calculation, but in a totally different manner. And of course, to bring in some of the latest technologies that we have learned over the years, because the truth is, version 9 was built with a technology that is almost probably 20 years old. But in version 10, we have to take advantage of some of the latest modern technology that is available so we can bring our software to date. That's why we have to totally create a brand new software, basically, instead of what we have done over the years, which is extending from version 7, we have version 8, and then version 9, more or less like extending the same interface over and over. But in version 10, we kind of started from the beginning and just give ourselves a new canvas to play with, and to create the software in such a way that it will be much more responsive, much more easy, and much more quicker.